Good afternoon, everybody. It is my great pleasure to have Mr. Ajay Saxena with us today. He is one of the most renowned PPP experts in the country with a vast experience. He advises central government, state government, municipalities, extensive period with the ADB over 10 years. And all in the PPP space. Mr. Ajay Saxena is also a senior advisor with the National Investment and Infrastructure Fund in the Policy and Advisory Cell. So, Mr. Saxena, I hope I can call you Ajay. Thank you for being here today. And wanted to ask you a couple of questions in the PPP space. So, sectors like road and airports have seen massive development and modernization by unlocking private ownership and funding. With sectors do you think have performed the best and why? Which sectors have the best opportunity in the next coming period, the next coming decade?
So thank you very much, first of all, EBTC and Vincent. Before I start with the any response to your question, I can say that I am the firm believer of PPP. There are various theories, myths also going around, and also there are failed and successful examples. That doesn't mean that the PPPs are not going to do a good job. To me, it looks like, if I have to say a bold statement, I can say if any new economic revolution has to come, and if it is coming, it will come through the PPP only. There is no other magic where you have a government of any government which is leveraging to the tune of 2 to 3 times the private sector fund to do the government mandated projects, the infrastructure. So where can I find? So that's how I introduce PPP, and that's how I say that that's my firm belief on PPP. A well-structured PPP where the project is structured best with the risk allocation allocated to a suitable allocation has been done to the private and the public sector. It cannot happen that the success is not met for the whole of the year. There are different levels of successes or different the periods of successes. The bid is successful, the completion is successful, construction is successful, financial closure is successful. But when I'm saying the project structure is done good and it is a bankable project, well allocated risk, it will see through the whole implementation and the operation period as the good successful period. Coming back to your question, yes, the roads and the other sectors, some physical infrastructure have seen a very good success. Why these are successful? Because they have a settled policies. These sectors have well defined, you can say, the project structure, the risks also. Even in the road, if there is a land acquisition problem, you would find even in the most successful sector like road, there would be some projects which got held up and which were not successful. Again, the project structure, like in the same road, Maharashtra had to stop the toll collection in the year 2014-15 because of the public resistance. And that public resistance is not that the public doesn't want to pay for the toll. Public and the user is very, very clear. User get the best services, user get a good service, the user is ready to pay. The same user which does not pay you a 30 rupees toll goes to a very high-end mall and spends some 1,000 rupees for a ticket and a popcorn. So these are the same users, these are the same people. So it is not that they don't want to pay or there is a ego hurt or something. No, it is that when I'm not even given a service, I'm cursed with the bad roads, potholes and all those things. Or maybe the Maharashtra case was not the pothole or the bad roads. It was the concession period was so long that the capacity of the roads got full. So user charges for the PPP, one has to understand, for anything to succeed, because no private sector or public sector is funding the project. The whole project is funded by the users in the long run. Either the taxpayers in the form of capital subsidy or the users in the form of deferred payments, which is giving the 16% IRR to the private sector. Okay, so it is nobody's money, it is the user's money. So if the project has to be successful, it has to be successful from the user side. User wants and the user charges are written, and that's again a kind of I in my long experience of more than 15 years or 20 years around, you can say that I have seen some people writing the user charges from the point of view of the return to the investment. This cannot happen. Okay, I can't charge something which the people are not even getting the services for. So the user charges are coming, they has to come from the savings that I do or a virtual saving that I am able to receive from the projects, from the better projects that has been done by the PPP project person. So like if the roads are better, roads are having a seamless traffic movement, then I am saving the time, the cost on the time, the cost on the maintenance, and the cost of the various hassles. So if I'm saving 1 rupee, I'm ready to share 30 paisas at all. That's a simple norm. Whole thing comes how beautiful structure, the project structure, I'm saying, the financial structure, the risk structure has been knitted. And on the sectors, like on the original question, what are the other sectors here? Airports have seen very good growth, and they have changed this thing. You see in the road, the success factor is a well-structured document and the well-settled principles, either it is VGF, annuity or hybrid annuity. In the airport, there is a factor of success, a good factor of success, which is to be there in all the PPPs if they have to survive. It's a regulator. It's an economic regulator. That's how the power sector is surviving. So wherever you find an economic regulator who has the authority to do some dispute resolution and these things, or the robust mechanism that the regulator is the arm's length from the private sector and the public sector, those sectors they are going to perform well. On the last part of your sentence, that which all sectors can have the potential, I see lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of potential in the urban sector. That is the second thing which is going to happen. And also on the energy renewables, the renewable energy sector, because of the climate change, because of the all kinds of halla which is coming around, and the kind of seasonal changes or the things which we are witnessing, everybody is getting conscious about the energy and about the climate change. I think the project belonging to those would be the next sector to come. And when I'm saying next sector, doesn't mean that the road and airports would stop functioning. They still would be carrying on.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that answer. So basically, you're saying the regulators, right, that play a huge role in the success of a PPP project. And I think it's also important that
and the project structure and the project structure which is in the hand of the public sector. So do a good project planning. Don't leave the planning to the private sector. Don't leave the land acquisition, forest, and all those clearances, the regulatory part. Once you do this, the project is going to fail in the private sector. But if you have done the project structuring and the regulatory risk at the public sector, this project has a higher chances of getting successful.
I think also if everybody has skin in the game, then then they're more prone to do a good job, right?
Public-private partnership has a very critical word, which is partnership. So it is not handing over my project. It is like doing the project together. It's a partnership.
Yes. Yeah. So, and you mentioned the urban sector, right? Urban sector, of course, is quite broad. Can you maybe elaborate a little bit on the urban sector when you talk about
urban sector? The way I can talk about in the Indian context and also in the world context also, the kind of water scarcity and the water contamination or the pipe water not reaching to and the cities are growing, urban centers are growing, water is having a problem. So this water is going to see lots of movement, and also the kind of awareness towards the cleanliness has spread, at least in India and also world over, which is again linked to the climate. So then the solid waste management on the within the urban sector, if you can count the portion of the transportation, so metros and the buses, and I'm more keen on the buses than on the metros. Metros are a high capital cost. The complete projects are very few in the world. Basically, Mumbai Metro 1 is one of the most successful ones, which is there in the PPP from the construction, operation and transfer basis. But the operation and maintenance part of the metro and full-scale buses, and that too on the electric vehicle types. So these are the main, and the STPs, the sewage treatment plants in the urban sector.
Thank you so much for your time and your valuable insights. I hope that our viewers would also appreciate it as much as I have, and hope to see you soon in person. And thank you again.
Thank you, Vincent. Thank you very much.